So I am biased. I love Deion Sanders. Got to work with him for darn near a decade and a half. I got to know him.
Darn near, Rich.
And darn near, pardon me. Well, I didn't say damn. Did I say damn?
No, you said damn.
Darn near. Because Deion hasn't cursed for decades. Listen, I told everybody here last week that Deion Sanders was going to show up with the Colorado Buffaloes this weekend and show everybody that he means business. Did I think they would beat TCU? Got to be honest with you. I wasn't ready to go that far. I mean, as much as I love Prime and believe in everything that he does, 86 new players. 86. Turnover. We knew it was coming because when he showed up and spoke to the one-win Colorado Buffaloes as they were amassed in front of him right after his hiring, he said he was bringing Louis with him, meaning Louis Vuitton. That's the luggage that he would be bringing for them to pack their bags because he was coming to bring his people, his kids, his vision to town, and one win ain't it. And sure enough, one game into his tenure in Colorado, he has already matched last year's win total. They went into TCU against the runner-ups from last year, and of course, they lost some players, but they're not in any way, shape, or form the doormats of college football, as Colorado was last year. 17th ranked, and Colorado went in and won this football game. 45-42. I thought it was going to be one of those whoever has the ball lasts wins.
I like it.
That this was an offensive track meet. And sure enough, Colorado made a defensive stop to wrap the game. And what we saw, like I told you would see, would be Deion Sanders showing you he means business. I don't understand how for so many folks out there, after he's been at it for this long, I tweeted out that this was the latest example of many over the last 4 decades, essentially, that he is the man. I don't understand why people think that he's just doing this just for him, for his ego, for his flash, his style. He means business. He is a coach. He is a leader of men. And what he has done is create a program in his image. Quite literally, 2 sons. Shadur and Shiloh. His son, the quarterback, threw for 510 yards. That's all he did. 4 touchdowns. And he was throwing dimes, dots, ropes. And he missed some throws, apparently, in the first half as Deion, again, in his image, running off the field at halftime, spoke to Jenny Taft of the Fox broadcast and mentioned how there were a couple of missed opportunities and had his son connected on them. He said the Heisman would already be chilling at the crib as he ran off to go speak to his team at halftime. Again, you don't hear coaches talk like this or be as upfront as that. Heisman would be chilling at the crib after one half of football. Yeah, and he means it. 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. His son is in the mix after 1 week of Heisman Trophy talk. Shiloh, his son, 10 tackles. Tied for the lead of the team. Also, you want to talk about in his image. This Travis Hunter kid. Which coach would go out there and say, you know what we're going to do with Travis Hunter? We're going to let him play defense because that's what he was essentially recruited to do at corner, but we'll let him play wide receiver. How many coaches would go ahead and say yes to that? Well, obviously, Deion would be the one to go ahead and okay that because that's what Deion would always call himself. Called himself a 5-down player. 3 on defense, 1 on special teams, and then 1 on offense. That's how Deion would refer to himself. Travis Hunter, 151 snaps against TCU. 39 at wide receiver, 28 at slot corner, 81 at wide corner, 2 at slot corner, 1 at box, 10 catches, 117 yards, 3 forced incompletions, and 1 interception that got, I believe, the first wow out of Gus Johnson on the day from the booth. That's Deion's image, as well as him talking it, because his team walked it. This was prime after the game. This is the one soundbite to me that stands out amongst the many after the contest.
Turn on the film. I tell him to turn on the film. We're gonna continuously be questioned because we do things that have never been done. That's the way our life has presented themselves. We do things that have never been done, and that makes people uncomfortable. When you see a confident black man sitting up here talking his talk, walking his walk, coaching 75% African Americans in the locker room, that's kind of threatening. Oh, they don't like that. But guess what? We're going to consistently do what we do because I'm here and ain't going nowhere. And I'm about to get comfortable in a minute.
How many times have we heard Deion talk like that amongst ourselves?
It's different because we know him, right?
Right. But that's our point here. And that was an answer to the question referring to what you had said off the top and what a lot of folks, I think, are saying, which is, oh, that's just one game. True, it is one game. Absolutely, it is one game. They're going through a Pac-12 cauldron, which, by the way, it appears to be. Pac-12 hasn't lost yet. What a way for the Pac-12 to go out.
How about that?
Right? They haven't lost yet. And so there's some big-time games coming and some big-time opponents coming.
I mean, not this week. They might hang 60 on Nebraska.
Hold on a second on that. I'm about to get to that. See ya. Because that's part of where I was winding up.
Okay, great.
So, yeah. But our point is, that's not an act.
Right.
That's
No,
Deion.
of course not. Yeah.
That's prime.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's probably a lot of folks out there saying, why is he making it about race? Because it is. Part of it is about that. Part of it is about when you're saying, did they really do it? Can they really do it? Look at the tape. Damn straight look at the tape. They got some ballers there. Balling out. They're going to have to prepare for the quarterback. They're going to have to prepare for the defensive back / wide receiver, a whole bunch of other kids that are there. Yeah. And Deion is still Instagramming out and talking. And a lot of folks will be like, normally you just shouldn't be talking still. It's just one game. But that's Deion. He's just going to keep on doing his thing, which also is, did you see his pregame speech to the team? This is something else as well. This got me so fired up because I know he's been waiting for this moment for quite a long time. And he knew this was it. And he knew exactly how to talk to his kids. And he knew exactly how to set the stage. And you tell me if this is now surprising to see what Colorado did in TCU after his kids heard this before going out. Check it out.
We ain't got tomorrow. We got now. We ain't got next. We got now. We ain't coming no more. Since y'all know we here, give me my theme music.
Come on,
yeah,
give me a
my
wall.
theme music.
Give me a wall to run through right now.
My favorite part about that speech, he says, we're not coming. And the rest of the players, his kids, screamed, we here, because they knew what he was getting at. They are one. Look out. I'm telling you, if the Nebraska team that struggled against Minnesota in week 1 shows up in Colorado this coming Saturday, they will beat Nebraska back to the Homestead Act. Back to the territory.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how far back they're going to beat him back.
It could be bad.
Honestly, like Deadwood didn't exist. That's the last. Seriously, because the coach there also was bestowed a job in the NFL. Okay, and I just want to say this because I did suppose the reason why Deion said I'm not a Knoll, you know, I'm a Talladega College guy, and I assumed it was part of he said that is because you know was disappointed in a way that Florida State didn't offer him a gig. I was told as well. He's saying that stuff because he's recruiting against Florida State. He already took Travis Hunter from him, and he's going to go take more from him. And that's his approach. It's not like I wasn't Knoll when I was playing, but now I'm the coach, and I have moved on. And then, of course, you need a quarterback who can light it up, and he's got one in his son who is listen to the way he talks. This is this soundbite from Shedeur after the game, talking about. Yeah, check it out.
Nothing really. I'll say the only difference between FCS and this level is the D-line get off blocks if you try to scramble up faster. That's it. Everything else, you got good players, you got good DBs, good receivers, everything like that. You just have more of those on the field at once. You got to think, everybody on the field ain't going first round. A lot of people on the field may not get drafted. So don't let people fear names. I don't fear names because I really don't care. But that's the biggest thing. When you fear names and you that's half the battle. You already losing. Dang, we playing TCU. I respect the university. I respect everything about them. But personally, I just never cared about names.
Sounds like his dad, doesn't he? I mean, it makes sense to just, I don't care about the name on the front. And also, just one last thing, in his image, I think, again, so many people think of Prime Time and the fact that he just, with his talent, beat everybody. He did on certain days, I believe, his talent would last. Do you know what Deion would do? He told me this over and over again. When he was playing way back in the day, he would have some sort of videotape setup. This is way before there were videotape setups, okay? He would have a videotape setup in his hotel room and hotel bathroom while he would take a bath the night before a game to get ready, and he would rest the video machine on the bathtub or the toilet seat and just sit there and watch as much film as he could, as much as he could possibly mentally be ready to beat you, because he knew what you were going to do by your tendency, by the way your feet were set, by the way your hands were being held at your sides, because he's smarter than you too. And I would counsel everybody else that thinks they just out-talented TCU to listen to what his son just said. This mindset of the defenders here at this level, as opposed to where I was playing in Jackson State with my dad, where everybody thought I was playing just because my dad was the coach. No, I've noticed these guys get off their blocks a little faster. That's what I'm noticing here. Look out is all I'm counseling. And unless you are rooting heavily against Deion, then maybe you should just go out and think, okay, they'll fall off. They might not be deep. Again, 86 new kids if they get an injury here or an injury there. But they also got through a game in apparently 120-degree on-field heat with that supposedly thin roster. That was amazing. Holy cow. And, you know, Clemson lost to Duke, and Florida State beat the crap out of LSU, even though Brian Kelly said we're going to beat the brakes off of, you know, Florida State. You know, there were a lot of other aspects of college football this weekend that deserve mention. And Texas is playing Alabama this week, and that's going to be obviously the marquee for good reasons. But look out. What a weekend. Holy smokes. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.